Our first guest tonight made a name for herself as a Wednesday, and she's here on a Thursday to talk about a show you can see Friday. Isn't that something? The season 3 finale of Yellowjackets is tomorrow on Paramount Plus with Showtime. Please welcome Christina Ricci. Coming, I'm interested in something that you brought with you tonight because it's dirty, but I'm gonna.
Well, you'll find. I mean, when you know the location it's been in, then you'll understand why it looks like that.
Okay, all right. That's us. Last time you were here, what year was this?
It would have been 2011. Wait, no, my child was born in 2014, so it was 2013.
And the reason you mentioned your child being born.
Well, okay, so this photograph actually sits in my son's bedroom because, and people will come over and they'll be like, why do you have a picture of your mom and Jimmy Kimmel in your room?
Yeah.
And the reason is because that's our first photograph together, me and Freddie, because he was in there.
He was in there. How many weeks were you at this time?
12.
12 weeks?
Yeah.
In a way, it kind of makes Freddie our son, though, doesn't it?
Sure.
You have how many kids now?
I have two.
Two kids.
10-year-old and a 3-year-old.
Freddie's 10.
And Cleo's 3.
Cleo is 3, very cute. Did they know that you were friends with Casper, the friendly ghost, when you were a kid?
Well, Freddie does. Cleo doesn't yet.
Are they excited by that? Because I'm going to tell you, my kids are excited by it. We've watched that movie many times.
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, Fred, I think, really likes it and thinks it's fun. And Cleo, I don't think has any idea.
She has no clue what's going on.
No, I mean, she'll probably, like, when Freddie was young, the reason he noticed at first was that people would always hug me. And he'd be like, why do people always hug you? And I was like, I had to explain being a part of people's childhood and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I would imagine at some point Cleo will also just be like, I don't understand.
Yeah, why is Mom getting hugged all the time? Yeah. You get hugged, huh?
I do. I mean, I used to.
I almost never get hugged.
I get hugged. I now don't really go in for the hug because, I've learned boundaries.
Yeah.
But,
Since COVID, you mean?
Yes, well, COVID helped.
Yeah.
You can justify no hug because post-COVID, in a post-COVID world. But yeah, I think it's just better at establishing boundaries.
Your kids are, my kids are like, they can't believe, like, we didn't have an iPad when we were kids.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. My son, we saw a payphone once, and he was like, oh, my God, Mom, are those the phones you used to have when you were little? And I was like, well, not in the house.
Yeah. Have they seen the rotary phones yet?
Yes. He saw a rotary phone. I can't remember where. I think it was on a shoot. Oh, I was doing a shoot, and what part of the production design, there was a rotary phone, and he was like, what is this? And I had to show him. He was like, this takes a long time. I was like, it really does.
They look at, like, we were living in some primitive society where you banging each other on the head with rocks or something. But the truth is, there are disadvantages. Like, for instance, they can't make crank calls without caller ID.
So, yeah, my son was very obsessed with, he likes me to tell him what we used to do at sleepovers. And like the whole thing where you go over to the house, you'd hang out for a while, the mom would take you to Blockbuster, you'd choose 2 movies, you go to the grocery store, you get your snacks, stay up all night watching movies, Saturday Night Live when the movies were over. And he thinks that sounds so fun. And then we would also prank call. We used to, when I was 11, I had a group of girlfriends, and we would all call 1-800-MATTRESS, leave off the last S for savings.
That's who you would prank call?
Yeah, we prank called them so much, we ended up having a regular guy that we would talk to named Jared. And we prank called all the time, and then we talked to Jared until finally, one of these idiot girls gave Jared her address, and he sent a picture of his penis. In the mail.
Wait. Jared didn't go on to do, like, commercials for a sandwich
No,
shop.
I don't think it was the same guy.
Different Jared? Wow.
Yeah.
Jared? Now, this is what year?
1991.
So Jared got a camera.
Yes, it was a printed out photo developed at the CVS Photoshop or something, the photo.
He sent it in or took it to the drugstore.
Yes.
He got the packet back. He's like, okay, here it is.
And then said, I'm going to send this to that group of 11-year-olds that keep calling me.
Which one should I send? And then he put it in the mail.
Yeah.
Did he have a return address on it?
I don't remember.
Yeah. And
I
did
don't think
anyone,
so.
did you alert your parents or
No,
the police?
nobody
or
told anyone. We just stopped calling 1-800-mattress.
Jared invented the pick, really. You know?
It certainly was the first pick I saw.
I mean, that's a lot of effort. He gets an A for effort.
Yeah.
He also gets a P for pervert.
Yeah.
Yes. Jared, I hope that Jared is somewhere seeing this right now, and he's going, oh.
She was one of those girls? Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break. Christina Ricci is here with us. The season 3 finale of Yellowjackets is tomorrow. We'll be right back.
You are just as up as I am.
Maybe you're right. Maybe that's why I didn't believe Walter when...
Walter knows.
No. No. I figured this all out on my own, and you should be glad I did. You should go now, Shauna. As dim a view as I have of the Passaic PD, I am not above calling them for a restraining order.
That is Christina Ricci and Melanie Linsky in Yellowjackets. The season 3 finale is tomorrow. This is, you play like a kooky bird lady.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you could say that.
I mean, you have a bird.
Yes. Well,
yeah.
I mean, she's a survivor from this plane crash when she was a teenager, and they had to survive by eating each other, and had fun doing it, apparently. So now she's an adult 30 years later, and socially inept, and maybe sociopathic, and works at a nursing home, which is great. Takes care of old people, which is really safe for them. And they're with all the adult survivors. They're sort of like dealing with the past coming back and like all this nefarious stuff happening, and them just trying to like protect themselves from anybody like actually finding out what they did.
When you play a part like this, who decides like what your hair is going to look like and whether you're going to have glasses? Is that part of the script? Is that something the director?
Well, she was always described as having like crazy, curly, unmanageable hair and glasses. And so that haircut, when we went to do the look, I kind of asked to do this haircut based on my mother's curly bob from the 90s.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Does your mom know that?
I don't think so.
No. Would she be flattered or offended by that?
I'm not really sure, actually.
Yeah. Because this is a strange woman, and you've chosen
It's true,
to
but the
model it
haircut
after.
itself is not that strange.
Is your mother a strange woman?
She's not strange.
No.
I mean, the good news is I never tell her when I'm going to be on TV shows, and she can't do a Google search, so we're pretty safe talking about her.
She can't Google.
No, but she lives with me. She lost her home in the Palisades fire.
Oh,
so
no.
She's moved in with us.
Wow.
And so she lives with me now, and she's not strange. She's very, like, together and sort of waspy, but then every once in a while will say something crazy, like she's gonna stab someone in the face. And then deny that she said it when I tell people, oh, Christina, I never said that. And she's 81, but she's still like obsessed with being, capable, and she drives all the time, and we laugh, me and my nanny Rebecca, we always laugh because she won't let us replace her car, and she drives like probably a 2001 like Toyota Camry that she's hit so many things with. She hits my son Freddie every time she drives him.
You hit your son Freddie?
No.
Oh.
Every time Freddie's been in the car, he'll come home and he'll be like, Grandma hit someone again and got in a fight with a Tesla driver. She hates Teslas. So there's she's probably the story usually entails her like hitting a Tesla in a parking lot and then getting into a fight about how she didn't. So this car is just like
You're saying
burnt
she's
out
not
top.
strange.
No.
You said she's not strange.
Totally normal.
Yes.
But every time she shows up, it's like our like teenage drug dealers rolling up to the house because of the car.
Well, maybe she doesn't want to get a new car because she's bumping into so many other cars that it would make no sense. Like it would be expensive to.
I think she's just got a weird emotional attachment to the car.
Oh, to the car. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
And do the kids like being with her?
I think
around?
so. Yeah.
Yeah. When you were a kid acting, did she come with you like to things?
Well, that's the thing. She started traveling with me. Well, first we started auditioning in New York, and it was '87 when I started auditioning, and we lived in New Jersey, so we'd go in through the Port Authority. And I don't know if you remember what the Port Authority was like in 1987 and 9th Avenue. it was really sketchy. So she,
Not great now.
No, wait,
Yeah.
yeah, but even worse then.
Uh-huh.
And she really like taught me all the things, like how to not get attacked and robbed and mugged and raped at the Port Authority.
Uh-huh.
And also, you know, like we would pretend we were staying at fancy hotels so we could use their lobby bathroom and all those things. And then she traveled with me for the rest of it. So we were sort of like co-workers,
Wow.
but also mother and daughter.
And then when you would get a movie, she'd be on the movie set
Yes,
with you?
she would travel with
at
me.
all
She'd be
times.
there all the
And would
time.
she interact with the stars? Like, was it your first
bit.
movie was with Cher, right?
Yeah, a little bit. But she would do things like I had to do this press tour and in Australia. So I just like, I was 12 or 13 and I showed up and they're like, and now we're going to take a picture of you holding a koala. And I was like, okay. And they hand me the koala and my mom comes up and whispers in my ear, they're really vicious and they all have chlamydia. And like giggled and walked off. And I was like, okay. But so she's got
She
a
meant
really
the
nice...
publicity team or
Yes.
the koala? Wow.
Yeah.
And yet she let you take the koala.
She just, you know, she has a great sense of humor.
Yeah, okay, all right.
But yeah, my first movie was with Cher. And actually, before I went to my final audition for that movie, my mother had me do a full film festival of all Cher movies.
Oh, you did? She
So,
did? Oh.
yes, so because my mother loved
Did
Cher.
that help or?
It did help because, you know, I always think it's good for young people to have a sense of respect for the people that they're
Sure.
working with and, you know who people are. So it did really help. And then, you know, Cher's wonderful, amazing. I'm sure I didn't need to know who she was for her to be so incredible.
Right.
But,
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, wow, well, it's great. What a life you've had. I mean, it's
Yeah.
crazy, yeah.
it's been, lots of lives.
Well, and now this very, very strange show.
Yeah.
It's called Yellowjackets. The season 3 finale is tomorrow on Paramount Plus with Showtime. Christina Ricci, everyone, thank you. Thanks, Christina. We'll be back with Mark Duplass. Guillermo, do you know how many subscribers we have on YouTube now?
20 million.
That's right, yeah, that's why we're wearing these glasses. Thanks for being a subscriber. If you're not, help us get to 20,000,001.